Welcome back to the Fathers of Mercy here in Auburn, Kentucky. And today we are going to talk about what is a Samaritan. Now, in the Gospel, Samaritans are brought up a lot, and they're always brought up in this native context. But if we don't understand what a Samaritan is, we don't really understand the impact of Christ's interactions with them and why the Jews had such a hatred for them. And so we have to ask the question, what is a Samaritan, right? But in order to understand that, we have to look at some of the history of Israel. And it all begins with Solomon. King Solomon, during his reign, the entire kingdom of Israel was united as one kingdom. But when King Solomon died, his sons fought over his kingdom, and a civil war broke out. And the kingdom, as a result, was divided into two, into the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. Now, in the northern kingdom resided 10 tribes of Israel. In the southern kingdom resided the tribe of Judah and Benjamin. And in the southern kingdom, the capital city was Jerusalem. And this is where the term Jews come from, all right? So the word Jew means a descendant from the tribe of Judah, someone from the tribe of Judah. And the capital city of Judea, or that southern kingdom, was Jerusalem. But in the northern kingdom, where the rest of the 10 tribes resided, the capital city was called Samaria. And so Samaria was a representation of the northern tribes. It was a symbol because it was their capital city of the northern kingdom, just like Jerusalem was a symbol of the southern kingdom of the Jews. But the northern kingdom of Israel turned from God very quickly. And as a punishment for this, God allowed the Assyrian Empire to invade the northern kingdom of Israel and to conquer it. And what the Assyrians used to do is they would take all of the Israelites or any place that they would conquer, and then they would disperse them across the other countries that they had conquered. And then they would take foreigners that they had conquered, and then they would transport them all into the new land they conquered. This way, it was a way of preventing rebellion from taking place, because who's going to fight for a land that isn't even theirs? They're foreigners in the land. So when the Assyrians had taken over that northern kingdom, there were very few of those Israelites from those 10 tribes still residing there. And there were a lot of foreigners that came in. And so the Israelites that were there would mix through marriage and such things, and their descendants would be, half of the tribes of Israel, half Gentile, which for the Jews would be considered unclean, having Gentile blood enter into the Israelite blood, as well as those Gentiles are now occupying a land that was supposed to be given to the people of Israel. So depending on the time of whether before the fall of the northern kingdom or after the fall of the northern kingdom, a Samaritan was either an Israelite from the north who was basically the enemy of the Jews, although brothers had divided the kingdom and were rebels, so to speak, or after the fall of the kingdom of Israel, they were basically either half-breeds or Gentiles that were residing in a land that belonged to the tribe of Israel by God's gift to them. So the Jews hated them for this, the Samaritans, because a Samaritan, especially in the time of the gospel, would have either been a Gentile or, like I said, a half-breed having Gentile blood and Israelite blood. And so the Jews always had this negative connotation towards them, this negative, basically, a hostility towards them because of their history. And so when we're reading the gospel about the Samaritans, that's what a Samaritan is, and that's why there's so much hatred on the Jews' side against them. But this is also why it's important to understand, because Christ comes to save all, not just the Jews, but also the Samaritans, right? And so hopefully this gives us a greater aid in reading the sacred scriptures and understanding what a Samaritan is, so that way we can have a deeper appreciation for the sacred scriptures that we are reading. Dominus Vobiscum, benigat vos omnipotens Deus, Pater et Filius et Spiritus Sanctus. Amen.